Hi everyone, Rainy here, and today we are going to work on filling air bubbles on the boat where I put on the fiberglass last time. I got these air pockets, actually a lot more than I'd like to have. So in researching it, well, I figured I could just sand them right down to the wood and then redo them, or I saw these people that were actually a couple sites, one of them right on the Spira International with Jeff Spira, and what they were showing was drilling a hole in the bubble, filling it up with resin, and when it dries you can sand it right down and still get it smooth. So that's what I'm going to try to see how it works. Actually, I should be positive, that's what I'm going to do, so you can see how it works with me. So let me show you what I have here. From this angle you could probably see a lot more of the bubbles with the glare on the boat. It actually was a lot easier to see with the garage door open. However, it is pouring today. So what I did was I found as many of the bubbles as I could and I circled them with my marker. So when I come by to drill the holes, I'll know exactly where they are, but you can see there's some pretty good size ones. And I mean, I tried using the metal roller and everything, it just wasn't sticking. So the first step is going to be to drill holes in those, and then I'm going to put epoxy in. So you can see I have quite a few of them, and here's my tools, my gloves, my drill. I found these little syringes at Walmart, and you can see there's just a small tip to it, and that drill makes a hole just right. Matter of fact, I did one right here. So there's a hole that I drilled, and you can see it fits. Oops. Right in there. See that, how it fits? So hopefully when I squeegee it, I should be able to just put it in there and squeegee it down and fill those in. So let's see how that works. So I'm going to be doing the drilling first. I've got some big holes right here. So I saw a guy do it online. What he did was he put a hole, like a hole in the top, and then one where he's going to push it in, and hopefully that one will fill it all the way up to the top. Over here, same thing. The only other thing I saw him do, once he filled in the holes, he covered them with tape. Let's move this closer. He covered them with tape so the glue wouldn't escape so much. Now we're getting to the next stop, or next step. I need to mix the epoxy. There we go. I'm not making balloon animals. I could, but let's see. I just went out and bought some new gloves at Harbor Freight. And these should work better than the last ones. I always had a hard time getting them on, especially if your hands were a little sweaty. So I bought some 2XL. They seem to be going on a lot easier than past ones. Oops. Okay. So right here is the epoxy. I already poured in the resin, and I need to get a little bit of hardener. Let's see. What I do, I put it so high that you can't see it, right? For a 2-to-1, 5-to-1, excuse me. And I'm trying not to do too much because I know this stuff hardens fast, and I don't want it to harden here in the garage. Probably should open the door, get some ventilation. So, in this recipe, we are making chicken epoxy. This will stick to your ribs. All right, can you imagine if you accidentally swallowed some of this, what it would do? Do not do that at home. Okay, it seems thin enough. So let's bring everything we need over here so you can see. That's the hardest thing in here, is moving the camera everywhere, especially if you're doing this on your own. All right. Got the epoxy right here. And let's see. Which ones am I going to start with? I want to start with some big ones. So let's start with, we'll just put them over here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see or not. So my first step is going to be get some of this epoxy in here. So there we go. I filled it right up with epoxy. And now oh yeah, it's working nice. Some of those holes didn't go all the way through. Yeah, I can see where I'm going to have to drill double holes. Where it said to do that before. Because the ones where I didn't, the epoxy had no place to escape. You see this one here, I'm putting it in here. See it filling in? So, bring it a little closer so you can get a bird's eye view right here. Oh yeah, that filled in real nice. The whole thing filled right in. Yep. And that's all there is to it. Oops, we got to get more. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that one went in one way, come out the other. So that was good. Yeah, so I can see what I need to do now is I need to make an exit hole as well as an entrance hole for these. See, that went all the way down there, didn't it? Yep. Works slick as could be. See that filling in? Woohoo. Whoop. Okay. Yeah, that's doing a nice job. All right, I'm going to finish these up. I'm going to finish these up right now on my own because time is of the essence. So, see you in a bit. So, what's the end result? I filled in most all the holes with the epoxy. Some of the holes weren't deep enough, so I had to drill them deeper. Some of the holes were too deep. In fact, one, I went right through the boat. So, I'll fix that later. I tried covering the holes afterwards with the tape. The tape's not sticking because it's all still wet, and I think I'd have to sand the tape off once I'm done anyways. So I'm just going to let this dry up. A lot of the bigger holes did fill up underneath, so I think that's going to be good. Once it's done, I'm going to sand everything smooth. Any holes that are, any bubbles there, I'm going to grind them down. And what I'm still going to do, I'm going to put one more coat of epoxy with Q cells in it. So the epoxy with the Q cells should fill in everything. And I'm going to get myself a longboard sander this week. And I can sand down the Q cells and hopefully make everything smooth. Fill in the holes that might still have puckers because I didn't tape them. And especially that hole that went all the way through, because I really don't want any drain holes in the bottom of my boat. So that's how it worked. Did it help filling in the air bubbles this way more than it would have just to sand it down and do, sand down the whole thing and fill it up with resin later? Once it dries and I've sanded it, I'll let you know then. I think in the future I'll just be a lot more careful not to have air bubbles, and I don't think I'll fill them up again unless they're major ones. Along the edges, like this here, was nice because some of those had some bigger ones, especially around the transom. One I could see it really spread out, so it does have its place, but not with every little pucker. So I hope you learned something. I certainly did. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye now.